Hello, once again. This is rather a continuation of the first video, right? As you can see, I cut it short abruptly. Well, like I said, so basically, to sum up the whole video, it's as per the title of this video, right? Or that video, so to speak, right? Ingenuity and technology, they go hand in hand, right? Ingenuity, how resourceful a peoples are to solve their problems, right, using technology and all of that, right? So again, going back to resilience, right? So let's wrap it up. Well, here's my perspective, right, on what is happening in Russia and in Gaza right now, right? I don't think that the enemy has any form of strategy to win. But this is a war for souls, right? Especially in these two war zones here, right? In Gaza and in Russia. They have been conducting, obviously, terrorist activities, right? Terrorist actions against the people. Right, so in Russia, for instance, right, on this side you have Medvedev, right, that's his name, right, and then we have Putin on this side, right, and now even most people are asking themselves, right, why hasn't any concrete action been taken to swiftly end this war? You know, that's the question, that's the growing. Right, because you are fighting an immoral enemy. So as the Houthis and Hamas, right? They are fighting an immoral enemy. Right? Sooner or later, people are going to start questioning if it's all worth it, their support. Right? And that's what they want to come out of the whole ordeal with their little terrorist attacks. Right? That have no military significance whatsoever. Right? Strategic bombers are literally useless these days, right? The intercontinental ballistic missiles and all of this, there's less and less need for actual bombers, you know. So that's just something to think about, right? That's something to think about. But yes, the battlefield, the winner is known, but they go around about and affect your people in hopes that they will rebel against you, right? We have seen them talking bold, like they are not willing to let Hamas lead and they're calling for disarming of Hamas, and they're using the Palestinian president, they're putting pressure on him and all of these things. Right? So I think a strike should be balanced, right? A strike should be balanced by their own trajectory, right? Their trajectory, Europe has proven itself to be having murderous intent against the Russian people, right? And there are those dogs of war that have been on a tight leash, right, by the president of Russia, right? And in my opinion, I think it's about time that those people get involved, right? The ones that are not afraid of striking anybody, right? Because as if you can see far down the line, if these terrorist activities continue, right, a train here, a bridge here, they keep killing people, no military targets whatsoever, right? That will have an effect on the psychology of the people, right? It will have a psychological impact on the mindset of the people, right? They will either force you to end it quick or just give it up, right? Because they might understand the depth of what is going on, but I don't think they know the full picture. Right? I don't think they know the full picture. So that has to be taken into account. Right? The level of aggression and the actions need to be bigger. They need to be bigger. And to be specific, as it's well known that they have no support whatsoever for their war, these Europeans, from their peoples, right? So basically we just have groups, right? There might be supremacists, there might be separatists or whatever, right? And then we have leaders that keep on talking reckless and keep on feeding this beast. And then we have companies, right, that come in many, many shades, like I said before. But in this particular case, in the case of Russia, for instance, it is obvious that it is all about the military-industrial complex. That's the mask that they have right now, right? Because what do we see as a response from the West, right? They keep propping up their enemy. They keep propping up their people, by saying, look, there is the boogeyman, right? There is the boogeyman. We need to protect ourselves, right? So it is more and less about the boogeyman than it is more like, okay, let's prepare, right? And they are mentioning big numbers, right? They're even talking about establishing new production lines for weapons, right? We even hear the US is talking about a golden dome. Protecting yourself against what, America? That's the question I have. Protecting yourself against whom, to be precise? Right? I'm confused. The world should be protecting itself from you, not the other way around. That is just basically you projecting and planning to do something stupid, like I said many times before, right? Because they are cowards, they need to set up a security parameter for themselves before they do something, anything stupid to the other side. So they have to like secure their whole situation first. Right? And then we have banks, or rather the financial system, right? That has been a, what do they call them? A quiet partner, or a silent partner, is it? That's some business lingo right there. Right? They are accomplices, right? If these groups of individuals are not targeted specifically, not the peoples of the whole of Europe, no. These specific groups of people, these interests, I am afraid that the alternative is destruction, as in wholesale destruction. Okay, so I don't know about the prospects of the negotiations and how they are going. All I'm saying is that if they do not choose peace, then those dogs of war that are afraid of nothing should be released on them. That restraint is harming you, Putin. It is. Right? That restraint is harming you, and you know it. You can literally call up your officials, your military officials, in a meeting and have a simple vote, right? And you ask this, are strikes outside of Russia valid by the evidence that you have and the observations that you have made? Yes, they are. That's my opinion, right? They can say their own, but I guarantee you 80% of them will say, you know what? Yes, they are. Hence the title issue I talked about before. So they do believe in you. They do believe in you, their leader. That's why they are not outspoken, right? You know, like Medvedev, like he expresses his opinion, and he is not soft in any way. Okay, so These are both Russian peoples, and their concerns are valid, right? Even though the Russian army is prepared for their atrocious warfare, but I'm afraid that war has ended. Now it is more of a regime change campaign type situation. Okay? And it's the same thing with even what is happening in the Middle East over there. The same business, same situation. Right? And of course, we can go even country by country, right? The Middle East to the Horn of Africa, that whole place has been militarized, especially the Horn of Africa over there. Why? Because of that trade route. Pakistan and India, that whole confrontation, the people behind it, they are business people, because there's a corridor there, a very profitable corridor for business that some individuals want to have control over it. Right? The AES, the same thing, full of resources that will determine how their future will look. Right? Because let's not kid ourselves, Europe does not, right, Western Europe does not have the resources to have a future without conquering of Africa. They don't, right? That's why I don't see the prospect of peace between Russia and Ukraine. Why? Because of Africa. Okay, because let's assume their whole situation ends. Will the support of Russia to the AES cease? I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? I don't think so. Hence, the confrontations will continue, especially for the mainland Europeans. Right? Talking about the UK, the German, and the French. They're done. They might have industries but no raw materials. They might have industries but no energy. Right? They thought they could run industry with power mills and windmills, and solar power. And no. So they are waking up to their reality. Hence their aggressive posturing against our brothers over there in the AES, right? And their fear that they have made contact with their brothers over here in Eastern Africa, right? Burkina Faso has visited, right? North Korea has visited also. I salute to you, comrades. Right? That's the lingo you use right there. Right? We are not a warlike people. We do not wish, nor think about, nor dreaming about conquering nobody. We just want to be left alone. Right? And do business and prosper. But these people are addicted to power. So it's going to be what it's going to be. Okay? Now, Congo, the same thing, resources. Sudan, same thing, resources. Somalia, resources. Russia and China, competitors and resources. Right? If you can't win an arms race, then maybe kill the racers. And then start a new race that you have control over. Huh? So, it's just a thing to think about, right? It's a thing to think about, and how all of these wars and situations are connected. And Europeans, you have to clean up your mess, or else somebody's gonna do it for you. Especially Western mainland Europe. You need to clean up your mess. Okay? Because it is getting to a point that you're gonna get struck. Yes, you're gonna get struck. That whole operation on Kursk, everybody in the whole world knows that NATO planned that endeavor, and Russia hasn't done anything about it. So, your move, I guess, if you leave Russia, then leave Africa, then leave Korea alone. but not leave this side and capture this side like the Americans with their reckless narrative from their AFCOM, whatever. And I hear that the French want to establish their own command, African command, to protect their French interests. This is a joke, brothers and sisters. This is a joke. Right? So, we as Africans, we should be, our eyes should be open. Right? And on how, whatever way they try to come at us, we must be ready right there to deal with it. Full stop. And it's not over until it's over. Never deceive yourself by desire, by wanting it to be over. Then you just, in a delusional mind, make it over. No. Make sure it's really over. So, just that's my two my 2 cents, right? So, keep up the good fight, right? Keep up the good fight, right? We see them acting like rabid dogs because there's nothing else they can do, rather than acting like rabid dogs. And rabid dogs get put down. Okay? They get put down. Or else, a lot of people, there's a price, a high price that will be paid. And I'm not ready to see the Palestinians, nor the Israelis, nor anybody pay that price. Okay? So, Europeans, you better fix your own house, or somebody's going to come up there and fix it for you. So, that's my 2 cents. So, let me wrap up these 2 videos, and yeah, I love you. Prince Easy, signing out. Bye.